My phone camera is broken, but either way, I must deliver. So I was reading the book of Daniel this morning as I'm going through, just in meditation, just thinking about the God that delivered Daniel from so many attacks, from so many angles. No matter what, he was always being persecuted for the favor that God had over his life. And yet he prevailed, for his God delivered. And, I look at Daniel's life as like a life of God getting the glory. At each time that God showed up in Daniel's life, someone bear witness, an unbeliever bear witness that Daniel's God is a true and living God. So as I'm in my meditation, worship this morning, I heard the Lord say to tell them that God saves when you call on his name. And I remember asking God before, like, what is your name? You hear all these different names, all these different things. And I wanted to hear from God myself. Like, I don't, and I asked God, and I remember one time I heard the Lord say, I am the I am. And another time he says, call on the Lord's holy name, call on his holy name. I'm like, what is the holy name? And then I heard the Lord say, Yah, Y-A-H, Yah. So as I'm reading this, he says, call on the name of God, Yah, the God of mercies, the God of deliverance, the same God of fornicators, the God of the generations today. Because sometimes when we read of the books them from, the Bible, or, we always think like, oh, those are so far ago, they're so old, but he's the same God of today. And the Lord said, tell them that he that exalts himself, the Lord thy God will prevail against those that fight the God, Yah. And he says, tell them, for I am the God of today. And, and that he will fight those that oppress you, meaning that he gives life to those that oppress you. So we can look at it, his words say that he gave life to the person that forges the weapon that is formed against you. And, as I'm reading Daniel this morning, and the king Nebuchadnezzar, so filled with pride and filled up with his own belief in himself that he is the power, he is the this. Everything he wrote was I. And, he got the warnings, but he never listened. And then he went mad and he was out eating grass with the animals. Sometimes it's like just out of his mind. And, when he came back, so he gave God all the praise, because before he thought he was God, he thought he was the king of the earth, and God showed like, you are not. And then he praised and gave God all the glory. So that's that.